So we are going to continue where we left off when we last saved. For the ideal life she and her only family deserved. I think what this is day 3? Wait, did I already say this is day 3? Or let me double check. Oh, it's day 4. Okay, so we did finish day 3. So we are now on day 4. Um so we can see how this goes. Hopefully I get a happy ending. But if I don't, then that's fine. I don't play this like through one playthrough. If it's a bad ending, it's a bad ending. As long as I get to the end. But hopefully I want to try to get to the good ending. But we'll see how that goes. Um, let's see. We are continuing. Yes, we are continuing. Oh, we got a new achievement, Dawn. Why do we get Dawn? My head hurts. Through my eyelids, I felt the sharp sunlight. I opened them to see the little piece of sky from the window. I passed the long night half asleep. I couldn't recall many details about last night, just how weak I was. The fluctuating temperature rendered my body powerless. My brain made me feel nauseated, like I had a hangover. Um, I felt there was something on my forehead, then realized it was a towel. The ice had been melted by my body heat, making the towel disgustingly wet. Remembering my foggy dream, my heavy heart dropped even further to the bottom. That was a memory of my mother, as well as the last thing I wanted to remember. Was it because of the stress? Eh? I suddenly realized my hands were free. Only the deep marks on my wrists proved that I wasn't dreaming. I started to move my hands in disbelief and tried to examine the rope and on my legs when I heard the cold voice of the girl next to me. Calm down. I will tie you right back up if you dare touch the rope. The girl was already awake somehow, monitoring my every movement while holding a cell phone. I couldn't see the little girl. I assumed they were taking turns to rest. I wasn't sure where she'd gone. After the argument and torment from last night, my own animosity against her lessened a lot. Either that, or I just had no energy to care. Good morning. Coughed a few times and greeted her with gathered strength. You took care of me last night. She grunted unhappily. The non-committal reaction was her yes. Be quiet and save some energy to take care of yourself. Oh, didn't know you cared about me this much. Shut up. Her shoes on the ground made a tap tap sound. She walked to me and looked down from above. Stop acting like that. It's disgusting. Oh, is that so? We were always acting as some characters in life. For those we cared about things we wanted, we acted in a way others liked. Isn't that part of being in a society, tolerating some annoying people? And then turn yourself into a disgusting person. I'd rather die if that's the case. She, she interrupted my coldly. She interrupted me coldly and raised her knife toward me meaningfully. I started to chuckle, seeing her annoyed expression. I hadn't seen such an honest expression of thoughts before. You didn't have to move a finger to kill me. If you'd let me die last night, I could have died. You still have some use now. After that, anything is fair game. She paused before finishing the sentence. There was some seriousness in her expression. You'll kill me after getting the money. After the silence, I decided to be transparent. She hesitated, then non-committedly shook her head. Who knows? I think that's a yes. Her attitude seemed to have softened from before. At least she no longer hit me at random or threatened to kill me. If they really didn't care, they wouldn't have bothered to buy medicine for me. It could be my wishful thinking, but I'd rather believe they had no intention to really do it. My next step should be... I should cooperate and establish a better relationship with them. I might be able to persuade them into winning their trust. Anyway, thank you. For what? For taking care of me. She stumbled momentarily before responding. Tell your dad to cough up the money faster then. What are you laughing at? Nothing, nothing. I didn't mean to enrage her, so I shook my head, indicating it was nothing. A hostage thanking her kidnapper. This sort of development would make anyone doubt his or her sanity. The argument from yesterday was like a switch, bringing forth emotions long forgotten. Is there anything to eat? My improving condition led to a better appetite. I asked her for food. Here, first a pack of cookies. Then she threw a can of something else over. I picked up the can and started at the cola in hand in confusion. I had no idea why this thing would be here. Do I drink this? Duh. What else would you do with soda? Thanks. Still had no clue, but wouldn't say no to a chance to switch things up. I opened the cookies obediently to fill my stomach with something first, then wash them down with a soda. So sweet. Since all I'd had were crackers and steamed buns, the sudden soda flavor was too much. Oh, really? Really? So just that drink and that cola was really more flavorful than crackers and steamed buns? Really? Okay. Take the medicine afterwards. I have no time to babysit you. The medicine she spoke of was on the desk. The effect was immediate. It didn't make me sleepy. I wonder what it was made of. The food and partial freedom allowed me to relax my mind a little. A relaxed hostage. I must have been getting too comfortable with this situation. We will let you go once your dad pays. As though reading my mind, she spoke to me calmly. This was the softest tone she'd ever used, as though she was comforting me. Not able to bear the gaze, I looked to the window. Man, we've been looking at this window multiple times. The more time we spent together, the more I understood her thoughts, her anger, her contempt, and deep down, her unease. If there was a way to avoid harming anyone and end all this peacefully, I shook my head, laughing at myself for the naivety of that thought. What now? Oh, it's telling me I could go look at the bathroom? Wait, where's the bathroom? Oh, here you go. Oh. The six pack's cola. Its packaging indicates that it's salt flavored. I haven't really had salted cola since elementary school, due to its inexplicably weird taste. Where did she even get it from? So you drink cola when you're sick, huh? What do you drink then? Don't you usually have a sports drink? Maybe hot ginger tea? Nanny would usually make a huge bowl of that for me to me to drink when I was sick. Just the smell made my scalp tingle, but now even that had become a special memory. That's what we drink in our family. Every time someone got sick, my dad would buy a whole box of it. Said it could fight the fever. The topic brought forward some memories for her. There was some inexplicable emotion as she gazed toward the window. Did it work? I did hear about drinking cola when you have a heat stroke, so in that regard, it did make sense, I guess. Who knows? It's not poison anyway, and it's not as bad as some other sweet drinks. It doesn't matter if it works. It's just a habit. Just like some need to pray before a meal, or some only smoke a certain brand of cigarette. When a behavior becomes a habit, it starts to take on another meaning, and leads to many memories. Looking at the side of her face, deep in thought, I realized even she had a sentimental side. Okay, so what now? Let's go with the older girl. Do you really think you can get out of this unscathed? Why is like the D like almost like cut off? Maybe that's just me. What about what next? How much money do you actually owe? Oh, that's a great question. Why are you asking this? It was rare she didn't reply in mean words, just coldly. Is there no other option? Option? Even $1 million debt shouldn't lead to kidnapping. You can save that much if you work hard for a few years. Work hard? She burst into laughter and looked at me casually while supporting her head. My dad doesn't have a company for me to work for. What kind of job do you think I could find? Dishwasher? Bar girl? Prostitute? And what if I clear the debt? Then what? Finally starting my life. My life at age 30 or 40? Changing the subject. She asked me coldly in return. Why do I need to spend that much time while others can just coast by? The world is never fair, then I'd rather gamble it all. Worst case scenario, it's just a death penalty. Not that different from now. Okay, that was a bit disappointing, alright. Hey, so what's your plan for getting the money? Why do you ask? She suspiciously turned her head to me, waiting for my answer. Wait, what? Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Just curious. How boring. During the long wait, I had nothing to kill time with me, but just chatting. What chatting? He stayed silent for a bit, tapping the cigarette ash on the desk, then quietly opened her mouth. I want to start over, somewhere where no one knows about me. The face of the girl, stating her vision, was so determined, like some pious nun praying. There was neither passion, there was neither passion nor desire, just serenity. I don't care what kind of job I get. I just want to save some money and live a normal life where I can sleep under a roof and eat properly. Can't do that now? It didn't sound that impossible. She could have just grabbed a knapsack and gone off to the countryside like those work exchange folks. Now, she laughed and waved her hand as though I just asked something really stupid. No fucking way. Even if you change your face or name, they'll still hunt you down as long as you owe them money. Oh, did you just like borrow money from loan sharks? I don't think that's a great idea. Um, but I'm sure you didn't have a choice, or maybe you did, but yeah. But maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but I don't think it's a great idea to do that. But even get the money and paid off the debt, could you really get out of this situation that easily? Hope you do, dude. Whether through surveillance footage or call records, it was impossible to escape from the pursuit of the police thanks to modern technology. Escaping abroad might be an option, but the language barrier and the lack of cash would also be problematic. I didn't know she had thought about this, but it was weird for me to ask her anyway. That's strange to you? Nope. I've thought of similar things. I think everyone has going some place where no one knows who you are. Away from the stigma or any expectations, just to live as your true self. Oh, why would you want that? Are you not satisfied with your life? Men are greedy animals, huh? I don't think so, but okay. Uh-huh. And noticing I didn't speak the truth, she hesitantly opened her mouth, but nothing came out in the end. Seeing that I had gotten better, she walked towards me with the rope. Your hands, do you really need to tie me up? Can I escape like this? This or that? This or this? Take your pick. Oh no. Jeez. She motioned to the rope in her left hand, then a knife on the right. I don't think I got a choice. I picked the knife. Wait, what does that even mean? Let me stab both your legs and I won't tie you up. Never mind, the rope is fine. Your choice, not mine. The bread she brought back for lunch was a classic scallion bread with pork floss. The long absent flavor spread in my mouth and made this meal a feast after days of nothing but nutritive biscuits. In contrast to me wolfing down the bread, she showed no appetite to the window. What was she thinking about? I decided to focus on the bread before me since I just recovered from illness. You bought so many flavors this time. How come? Seeing all the flavors in the bag, I was confused by her generosity. They're leftovers. They were gonna throw them out anyway. She coldly turned her head and grunted with distaste. I hate those fancy shops that take pride in their quality. They'd rather throw out the bread than give it to those in need. Don't you know what they say? We give the leftovers to others. The original customers would never buy them. All for such a petty reason. She mockingly laughed, despising the self-proclaimed fancy shops. From their point of view, they do have a point. I replenished some strength after filling my stomach and started to chat with her. It might be hard to understand, just like people not getting why others would pay thousands of Taiwan dollars for a steak, or much more for a pair of headphones. For most people, food was just to relieve hunger. For some people, however, it was a pursuit of the ultimate sensation of taste. Time does affect the bread's texture. The store needs to maintain the quality for their reputation. If the shop cut the price when there was some left over, then people would come right before closing. This would affect profitability negatively. I initially wanted to explain the impact of an expectation mindset, but decided to go with a simpler way to explain it. Why is my Epic open? What? I have no idea when my Epic is open. Okay. Um, the shop needs to make a profit, so it's only natural for them to. Only natural? Oh no. Is she about to argue with me? I think so. Didn't I just say it? It's not a matter of throwing it away or not, but the mentality of the customers would impact profit. That's what pissed me off. What quality? What reputation? Oh no, this is not going good. Not going good one bit. Some brand reputation is more important than starving people. Does nothing matter besides money? Um, uh, I don't think I think your hunger might be getting it to you. That's natural to you, right? Her staring eyes were burning with fire, like those that had seen the worst of humanity, and were overflowing with rage. Even if you disagree, that was their freedom of choice. Freedom of choice? Keep that bullshit in a textbook. It is a choice when rich people want to waste their money however they want. Meanwhile, I had to work to pay off debts as a kid and couldn't even have a place to live. Is that my choice? In response to our argument, they all say one must work hard for the opportunity. What the? Oh, wrong one. Wait, what? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. But no one will tell you you have less than half of the time the others should have due to your family. They say society only cares about your abilities, but no one will tell you that poverty will hide you from ever being seen. They say people are born equal, yet no one will tell you that it is just a lie. Well, it's true that no one can decide his or her upbringing, I guess. I would only respond with this after staying silent for a while. It just sounded like an excuse. Sounds fair to you, rich boy? My sincerest apologies. She grunted and turned her head away. End of conversation. Well, that's unfortunate. End of conversation. Alrighty. The girl was looking outside of the window with a cigarette. She was always extra quiet when smoking, like it was some serious ritual. In only a few, in a room only a few square feet in size. Two people with opposite backgrounds quietly sat preoccupied with their own thoughts. How old was she? What happened? Why was she doing this? I thought I didn't care, but the more time we spent together, the more I realized how different she was from my imagination. The criminals in the news all looked evil and inhumane. It was hard to imagine they might have their stories too. The things they like, the things they hate, the people they cherish, the words, their thoughts. There was a sentence from a book. Everyone tried to live better. No one would think of him or herself as being irrational or crazy. We felt that way. That meant he didn't know that person well enough. Oh, um, okay. I didn't try to understand them. The fast-paced modern society made it exhausting to take care of oneself, let alone others. We didn't care what others like. Labeling them as a good guy or a bad guy was just much easier. Okay, so with that done, I guess we could go and ask the question, what now? Oh, so what now? We can observe some more stuff, which I don't think we need to observe anything else. So let's go and chat a bit more. Oh, it looks like we are gonna have to observe. Okay, well, I didn't exactly get a choice with that. Um, do we know each other? No way. Our lives have nothing to do with yours. Oh, really? Um, then why did you choose to kidnap me? Or this protagonist, I guess? That's what I want to know. Hearing my question, she snorted mockingly. Really? Some odd thing I've seen you before. Hearing how insistent I was, she tilted her head and started thinking. Maybe in the shop. No, no, that's impossible. Or maybe you've seen me on the news, or in the police station. Huh. Hearing her smile seemed to sharply cut me. Her pointed words made it hard to get close. To get too close. Then, why me? Ah. Still thinking about that. She sighed impatiently. She waved her hand to indicate she lost interest in the exchange. Your dad is filthy rich and you live by yourself. Can you think of a better target? Or you think there was some backstory? Just blame yourself for being too careless and your dad for being too rich. I was still uncertain if the culprit was someone I knew. The fact that she knew this much about my household was just bizarre. That question aside, didn't she mention a shop? He had worked in a shop. What kind of shop? Are we not going to the memory zone or something? Are we gonna try to remember the past? Well, let's go and ask this question. That girl, what's her plan? We let her go home after getting the money. Well, I hope she does, but you never know what might happen. She might say that she's a liability or something. Who? The one calling you Big Sis. She'll be with me, of course. I heard some gangs would manipulate underage girls, make them into a lackey to avoid arrest. It had been only a few days, but it was clear that the little girl didn't know anything and only followed instructions from her big sis. She even looked worried when I was sick. It was just cruel to ask a kid of that age to be the scapegoat. Does her family? Oh, whoops. Does her family know about this? Family? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're finally asking this question. Family. Um, let's see. She frowned upon my question. There was some sort of communication barrier. Something seemed amiss. She has a family, right? Or did they abandon her? I I am her family. Eh? I couldn't make sense of it at that moment. I just froze there, forgetting about what she even just said. Didn't she call me big sis? Wait, so you are really her sister? Like, sister, sister. What else could it be? She impatiently crossed her arms across her chest and asked, matter of factly, uh-huh. So, I thought she must be like her boss or maybe some surrogate sister. Yo, we finally got more information. Alright. So we know that she's like, they're actually in a relationship of sisters. That's nice. I like that. Or I don't actually. Wait, how should I be feeling about this? but if that, but if that's, but if that was the case, then her faith in Big Sis would make sense. They are blood relative after all. Nothing. Just that you don't look alike. That's so. Oh. She suspiciously looked at me and burst into laughter upon realization. She saw through me. You thought she was like my lackey and I would send her to jail my place. Once I get the money, she was smiling, but there was no warmth in her expression. Are you kidding me? I'll take responsibility of my own actions. Not like you people that grab all the goodies and stuff others with shit. I just think your little sister's a good kid. Would rather she doesn't get involved. Oh, so you actually care about us. She replied absentmindedly, as though not believing one word I said. Oh, we got something new. Oh, we got a new achievement. Bonding. Okay. Let's go and check out this thing that just popped up. So it looks like, so they're really siblings. No wonder she was this protective. Okay. Well, let's go and observe something, I guess. What's this? Oh, this is a light. A strange looking lamp that doesn't even have a lampshade. I don't know what error might have been made during. Can I toss it like a weapon? I have to untie myself first, though. Oh, it's now noon. No, 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 never mind. It is now night. Finally, the girl put down the phone and loosened her tense brow, long with a sigh of relief. What's up? Lucky for you, things have worked out. Your dad will pay tomorrow. For real? Duh. Why would I lie to you? She seemed to be in a rather good mood since all I got was just a look rather than a solid flying kick. Stay put, and nothing will happen to you. So, you let me go. Who knows? Just don't have any funny ideas and wait patiently until tomorrow. She gave no promise, just shrugged with an ambiguous attitude. It went differently than I expected. According to my understanding, my father, he would have tried to buy more time to let the police track the kidnappers down. Yet instead, he conceded rather easily. Did he really plan to just pay up? Knowing him, he wouldn't believe the kidnappers' claim so easily. He must have a plan. No idea. I didn't know what he had in mind, which was a sad realization of how distant our relationship was. Why do you look so pissed? Did your brain burn out? She asked with a little surprise after seeing me not saying anything with a lowered head. As if, I responded vaguely. I didn't think I would go I didn't think things would go this smoothly. I had no intention to let my kidnapper know that. Without noticing my concern, she mumbled before opening a can of soda next to the window. She leans back against the wall and let out a long and tired sigh. She clearly didn't have it better than me. Outside of preventing me from escaping, she also had to worry about the police and negotiation process with my family. It might seem like it'd be over soon, but the key event was tomorrow. Would they really pay as promised? Could it just be a means to buy time? They always say parents will pay any amount of money for their children's safety. Don't make me laugh. We are not normal, family. Nothing could be done with this broken excuse of a relationship. Despite telling myself not to have any hope, I still wished for them to pay up. A self-contradiction even I couldn't really explain. My head started to ache while I pondered it. I tried to rest against the wall, but all sorts of thoughts stuck in my mind. Be a good boy at home, okay? Why do we get this again? Liar. Wait, is he dreaming this again? Okay. So what's with your mother? Huh? I came back to my senses from the fuzzy memory and answered absent-mindedly. Why is there no contact at all from your mother? She is right here in Taiwan, but refuses to show up after her own son is kidnapped. That's strange. Maybe she's busy. All the unpleasant memories came to mind, making me try to change the subject reflexively. Are you kidding me? She raised her eyebrow, clearly not pleased with this answer. In retrospect, it wasn't really a convincing answer, but I still didn't intend to say more than that. Why do you care about my family? Are you an arranged marriage agent? If you let me go, I can give you my number. Maybe we I stopped right in the middle of the sentence. There was only my voice throughout the conversation. He would normally have interrupted me by now. A strange silence spread across the room. I lifted my gaze and looked into her black eyes, realizing I sucked at hiding my thoughts. You really talk a lot when it is about things you don't want to answer. Is that some rich boy habit? Maybe. I didn't expect her to notice such details, so I acknowledged her sharp observation with a bitter smile. Didn't you figure me out already? Should know our relationship was bad. All I care about is if you have money. Your relationship is none of my business. Why now, then? I responded casually, but couldn't help but wonder about the intention behind his question. The sheer curiosity I felt, uh, sheer curiosity I felt wasn't that simple. I just want to hear from you what's wrong with her mom. Even Mr. Kin said it was pointless to contact her. Oh, we now know. Wait, Mr. Kin? I thought you weren't supposed to talk about him. Mr. Kin? Never mind. So you gonna talk or not? I guess because she already spilled the beans about Mr. Kin, she's fine with having us know about a little bit his name again, I guess. Seeing her impatiently brushing her hair, I lowered my head to ponder how to respond. I don't know where to start. Really, it was embarrassing, and I didn't feel the need to tell her. What is your what? Is she your stepmother or your father's mistress? Seeing me now pondering, she started to guess randomly and managed to get pretty close to the truth. Something like that. Just the roles were reversed. Huh? In the end, I decided to go with the easiest explanation. My mom had another man. It wasn't really something I couldn't talk about, but it just triggered tons of unhappy memories. Bro, we're now getting some background information from him now? Okay. Since I was a kid, she often went out with someone. I didn't know where to and what for. It was sometimes, it sometimes would take her a whole week before she came home. Even the housekeeper couldn't give me a direct answer. Her mom is having an affair. There'd be no way for me to tell a 10-year-old that either. Oh, she supported her head with a smile on her face, which oh, which looked more like gloating than sympathy. Oh no. Oh well, what do you expect from her, I guess? You guys are strange, always doing these sort of things. A fair inheritance fight. Don't you have better things to do? Not expecting me to answer, she started to talk to herself and laughed, as though hoping to balance things out by hearing of others' misfortune. What a poor man your dad is, making all the money abroad just to raise a woman for another man. He knows. He knows? I said it casually and saw her staring at me dumbfounded. Yeah, he knew about my mother's affair. Cool story, right? Are you an idiot? Have a sense of humor. Why didn't they divorce? Did he forgive her? Or maybe your mother has the money. She ignored my joke and kept prying. After confirming the ransom payment, she'd become a lot more talkative. Who knows? I don't care, nor do I want to figure it out. They like it like this. They like it like this way, and I can't do anything about this. I actually asked about that just once. Could never forget his reaction back then. I angrily told him about mother's affair. The hand touching me tensed up immediately. Yet the shock only stayed on his face momentarily before being replaced by another emotion, some sense of relief. He softly rubbed my head and told me mommy didn't have an affair. I simply misunderstood. Misunderstood? No explanation. Just one single word. With the company increasing in size, he spent more and more time abroad. Never did he ask a mother's whereabouts, nor confront her as though nothing happened. Why didn't he ask her? Why did they divorce? Why feign ignorance? I couldn't ask anything, seeing his soft smile. Uh, and the unanswered question became the gap between us. It got wider over time, until it became an unfixable distance. Maybe he has a mistress too. The marriage was just a ruse. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Does your dad still love her? After staying silent for a while, she eventually asked. I don't know. At least I couldn't. I didn't say the second part. It didn't matter what the answer was. I deleted her phone number that day. I moved out during high school, keeping minimal contact with my family. Since the money came in every month, meeting up or not didn't matter. Maybe she knew that we already found out about it. No, maybe she wanted us to find out. In retrospect, too many things didn't make sense. There were better excuses for the affair to keep me from discovering it. She wanted Dad to know. Unbelievable as it was, it explained many things. To force him to propose divorce, testing his reaction, regardless of the motive. There was no argument or confrontation as I expected, just the status quo. Maybe she wanted to get alimony by forcing her dad to divorce. No one would openly have an affair to get alimony. No judge would be so stupid. Hmm. She tried to find an explanation with her dad. Find an explanation with a darkened expression. Save it. You won't find an answer. They've been like this for years. They at least tried to hide it from me when I was young. Now, they don't even bother. Well, the moment he was on the plane, she was already on her way to spend the night with another man. She just needed to find a good wife when he came home. She just needed him to. She just needed to play a good wife when he came home, as though nothing happened. It was like an adult version of playing house. The curtain raised and everyone played their arranged parts. You are the dad working abroad. You're the mom taking care of the house. You're the kid that needs to go to school. We all knew it was fake, but no one would spell it out. I kept thinking that my dad's company wasn't that big. My family wasn't that rich. Maybe things could have been different. You think things would be different without the money? I'd expect that to trigger her. She started laughing coldly. Why is it so difficult to just openly discuss this? Do you really have to make it more complicated? Seeing her angry reaction, I somehow felt a little reassured. I finally confirmed I myself wasn't abnormal, but that my family relationship was abnormal. You think? You think? Okay. Things wouldn't go away if you pretend you didn't see them. That was just lying to herself. Making things clear to break up. Is there no more love? Don't keep perpetuating a lie if you don't want to be together. How simple is that? Who knows? They like it that way. Uh, well, it's all right, all right. I didn't want to argue with her. The world is too complicated. Too many people, too many things that would take a lifetime to understand. What do they do? That why does society function like this? Why can't one ever be satisfied? I don't know. There's no answer, then you just accept it. Reality wouldn't change just because you don't agree with it, or because you know the cause. Don't know, are you nuts? She waved her hand impatiently, as though nothing I said was worth a dime. Why don't you figure it out? You find it strange. Are you some soap opera protagonist? You don't get it. Even if I. You're the one who doesn't get it. Abruptly interrupting me, she coldly responded. You don't know how lucky you are. You don't know how many people envy you. Just keep saying you can't do it. How many people want to be like you, and yet here you are telling me, I wish I had less money. So quit the self-pity. You are lucky, rich boy. If you want to escape from if you want to escape from even this type of problem, you may as well just die. Angry as usual, but this time it seemed different. I could tell she was treating what I'd said seriously and was dumbfounded by that realization. I never told anyone about my family. I realized it wouldn't matter even if I did. Is that it? How come? Poor thing. The pointless reactions were just exhausting. No one really cared, and then it became a random subject of chit chat. It was like talking about disasters on social media. All the self righteous comments were really just empty words on things that had nothing to do with you. All I did was notify others, hey, I know about this. I have a heart. It's all meaningless. If you want to escape from even this type of problem, may as well just die. Upon hearing that, I realized I was escaping, fearing that atmosphere, fearing my parents. I ran into my own world and never attempt to negotiate with them. What? Say something. Seeing me not saying anything, she stared at me coldly while brushing her messy hair. No, you're right. I sighed. I actually felt much better despite my situation remaining the same. She went silent, hoping to see if I was mocking her or being honest. Then she spat and turned her head away, seemingly more awkward than mad. Doesn't matter what you think. I won't be seeing you again after getting the money tomorrow. Good luck. She lit up a cigarette. The faint tobacco smell permeated the room, along with the cool night air. If they did get the money tomorrow and everything just ended, that would be the best possible outcome. I shook my head and laughed at myself. Even I couldn't believe that. Life is fated to be a tragedy. We thus live in hopes of a miracle. I recall that line, the air I breathed out turned into white smoke. Through it I saw the foggy moon outside of the window. Even if just once. I hoped a miracle would happen. Hey, well, so it's 3 o'clock in the morning. The girl was falling asleep in the chair. She had woken up a few times in a fit of drowsiness. Even the energy drink didn't help much. Worrying she might really fall asleep, she decided to sit next to the door with a blanket. There was only one exit. You would have to go through here if you wanted to escape. Even triple checking the ropes couldn't remove the unease. The image of him escaping came to her mind every time she closed her eyes. It would be all over in a few hours. That was a simple determination that kept her going till now. She had imagined how she would pay off the debt multiple times, and now she could see the end of the line. She didn't know how to avoid arrest or what to do afterward. She just had to she just had the belief that things would be different. Just a few more hours. The quiet sleep talking echoed through the room. The girl secretly closed her eyes. Oh, wow, we immediately got into day 5. Alright. Mm. Well then, where's my water? I need to get a drink real quick. Alrighty. Sure. I feel like with how this is going, we might actually be finishing it today or this stream, or we might get like a little bit, maybe like a little bit on next stream. But then I'm gonna have to start a new game. Oh well. I did save it, right? Let's see. Oh, I missed the fuzziness. I had a dream. It seemed to be an afternoon after school. My mother hugged me so tight that made my arms uncomfortable. She kept crying and apologizing, wetting my face with endless teardrops. Why was she crying? I blankly looked at my emotionally collapsed mother. Even the supposedly familiar face appeared unfamiliar at that moment, even though she was the one who betrayed father, even though she was the one who abandoned us. So why did she look so sad? I couldn't ask a simple question from my heart, yet a voice answered nonetheless. That's how the adult world works. That was a depressed yet still young voice. Within the darkness, I realized that was none other but my own voice. Oh, it's morning. It's morning already. I woke up from my dream in shock, the realization that my face was all wet. I couldn't recall the details of the dream itself, just the sense of bitterness weighing on my chest, rendering me breathless. There were a few spots of white light from outside on the ground. It was so quiet, I could hear my own heartbeat and the wind from the window. It was probably 4 or 5 a.m. I must have woken up early because I slept way too early the day before. I sat up to stretch my body, with the joints making clear cracking sounds. The last bit of my dream vanished within the morning light. I noticed the girl was leaning against the door with a blanket. With her knife next to her body, she had clearly fallen into deep sleep. Worrying I might escape, she didn't even want to sleep in an actual bed. She had a slender body, clearly due to malnutrition, and the unkempt shoulder-length hair that was tangled in multiple places. Her long eyebrows wrinkled together as though she couldn't find peace even in the dreams. Her long hair didn't seem very healthy, and even the color was not consistent. One probably couldn't care less about their hair when eating for the night alone was an uncertainty. Hello, Toasted. Do you have some things to say? What is it? Welcome to stream. Um, she could be a beauty if she cleaned herself up and maybe put on some makeup. Carefully observing her asleep face, I almost forgot she was the kidnapper. Having a totally different family might have led to a totally different life for her. The world is not fair. I murmured what she said and wondered what emotion did she say that line with. Helplessness towards the society, self-pity, rage against the rich. I decided to stop thinking about it and focus on figuring out what to do. There was no point to risk this much. They might just let me go after tonight. Hearing her voice, I was glad I didn't try anything crazy. I finally managed to uh, let her drop guard on me. I just needed to be patient and wait for the opportunity. Good morning. What are you doing? She tiredly yawned and looked at me unpleasantly. Wait for breakfast. Oh, waiting for breakfast. She clearly didn't bite and walked to me with a knife. She checked if the rope was loose. You are free once your dad pays today. No funny business. Alright. Better keep your mouth shut and say nothing. Got it? You never make friends if you're this bossy, you know. I responded jokingly, but she didn't seem to appreciate it. She, she stared at me briefly and decided to say nothing more. She then walked to the bathroom to clean up. Unlikely as it may be, but if they were going to pay the ransom, they would let me go without risking anything. The real problem would be if it was just to buy time. I wasn't sure what they would do if pushed it forward. Either I escaped on my own or waited for the police's rescue. Well, I would worry about that after tonight. Well, let's go and chat. See what's up. Are we really gonna ask how much money we owe again? You look really tired. Alright, that's a new question. Let's go and ask that, I guess. You look pretty tired. None of your business, she replied sourly. Yet the thick dark circles under her eyes said it all, guarding me around the clock. Plus, the heavy mental stress had taken quite a toll on her body. Get some rest if you aren't feeling well. I think that'd be a good one to say. Oh, how nice of you. Save your breath. You just want me to drop my guard. I can't move around tied up like this. I'll be out of here if you get the money today. I'm not so dumb as to risk my own life. You better remember that. Hmm. Well, should we really ask this again? Why do you owe so much money? I guess so. Why not? Why do you owe that much money? My dad tried to start a company. Whoa, she's actually gonna explain why she has owed so much money. Okay. That should be none of your business, though. You can just file for bankruptcy. He thought he could make up the loss if he kept if the business kept running. So he loaned a ton from a loan shark. Oh, that's great. He is no businessman, so the business naturally failed. He himself skipped town too instead of making any money. But legally, that's his own debt. Legally? She cut me off with a grunt. She then asked with a raised eyebrow, do you think this is some entrance exam? What are the cops for if everyone follows the law? Why don't you seek help from a social worker? There must be some other way. Crying out loud. Did I just get hit? Oh, whoops. Stop talking like a big shot. You think you're so smart and we're all just idiots. She suddenly kicked me, then coldly looked at me, struggling on the ground. Let me tell you this, everything you learn from the textbooks is completely useless. If 1/10 of that bullcrap was real, you really think I would Be here? So shut your trap if you want to go home in one piece. Understood? Oh, um, unfortunate, but we got new notes, I guess. The cause of her death was her father borrowing money from a loan shark. No one had heard from him after he skipped town. Well, that's very unfortunate. So I'm guessing she has to pay his debt now. Oh, unfortunate. Let's go with the bathroom, I guess. We haven't done anything with the bathroom. Here we go. Damn, too small. Some sunlight went through the foggy window, but it was still too small for a person to fit through. Oh, we got a new note? There was a window in the bathroom, but it was too small to pass through. Oh. She couldn't seem to calm down on the big day. Pacing around the room, she kept checking her phone screen. Sounds from outside of the door. Judging from the girl's shocked reaction, I wasn't imagining it. Who could that be? There were questions in my mind, but I was pressed against the wall before I could even open my mouth. The girl covered my mouth in panic and raised the knife against my neck. The blade was so close I wouldn't dare to move an inch. Don't move. I get. Shut up. Not able to stop the trembling in her voice, she put more force into her hand. The sharp end was stabbed into the throat with a simple push. It didn't appear to be an accomplice, so it didn't appear there were any other residents. One wouldn't expect a sudden visit. The police, maybe? They might be able to find me through the surveillance camera or cell phone signal, but they could find us this quickly only after a few. But could they find us this quickly after only a few days? Following the train of thought, the steps got closer. Then it stopped right before the door. There was no hesitation. Straight to the destination. In other words, they knew there was someone here. As though waiting for something, there was no sound outside the door. No one seemed to want to break this silence. Her tense right hand trembled a little. I could see the sweat dripping down the cheek. Big sis? The little girl's voice came through the door. She breathed out heavily and dropped her arms, as though exhausted. She opened the door to greet the little girl who was carrying a bag and looked at her big sis innocently. What are you doing? Do you know how dangerous it is? If you didn't make a sound, I might have attacked you. Sorry. It was rare to see her getting mad at the little girl, who lowered her head apologetically. Through the door, I could see the view of the stars, the red armrest, and gray wall were the common side of an old apartment. Whatever, as long as it's not the cop. Wait, did I tell you not to come? What happened? Who asked you to come here? She raised her head suddenly and started shaking the little girl's shoulder with nervous expression. No one. Really? No one? Okay. Then why did you... Her direct response rendered the girl speechless, who became lost in thought. Whoops. I just want to be with Big Sis. Her direct response rendered the girl speechless, who became lost in thought while rubbing the little girl's head. The little girl's motive was simple. She just wanted to be with her big sister, but her sister had more to consider. Oh, maybe? How to avoid police pursuit, what to do after getting the money. It was difficult, as as it was to escape on her own, let alone taking care of the little girl. Why did he bring so many things? Deciding to let it go, she took the plastic bag. Miss Wang asked me to bring them over. She said they were leftover. She knows? I don't know. She just said you should take care of yourself and let her know if you need help. Hmm. She seemed to lose her usual cool, with her head lowered depressingly. Sis, huh? Miss Wang seems worried about you. Looking at the hesitating little girl, she bit her lips and finally spoke after a while. Don't worry, it would be all over soon. She managed to smile while rubbing the little girl's hair, noticing the name that was brought up. Who was this Miss Wang they were talking about? Let's go and ask, I guess. Who was this Miss Wang? Oh, maybe we shouldn't. Oh no. Ignoring the fact that the little girl was right next to her, she gave me a solid kick. Don't get cocky. I told you to shut up. Why you? The little girl looked at me worriedly, but was too scared to ask anything. Whatever, it might be for the best. She passed the knife to the little girl and started to leave the room with her cell phone impatiently. Keep an eye on him for me. I'm going to give a call and find out what's going on. They didn't pick up the phone. She impatiently mumbled and was about to step out of the room. Calling whom? What part of shut up don't you understand? She coldly stared at me. It's none of your business. Got it? Just eat the bread if you're hungry. There's also enough water. I'll be back soon, so don't you think about untying yourself. Hey, what if there's a fire? Then you will be burned to death. I don't care as long as she escapes. Fighting for my privilege only got me a merciless look, with the little girl quietly nodding on the side. I'll remind you again, no funny business. What else can I do? Barbecue? She wanted to say something while staring at me, but eventually she grunted and left. The door closed and there were only me and the little girl. We will learn if the ransomer really arrived tonight or not. They would only keep a closer eye on me if the negotiation continued. If I wanted to run, now would be the best chance. The little girl had less strength than her sister, nor was as on guard on me as she used to. All these choices were like gambling. You never knew what would be your next card. The only thing that mattered was that you only had one chance to bid. But now, let's see. Oh, okay, we can go and chat with the little girl. Oh, we're actually gonna ask about Miss Wing again. Okay. She was about to talk before immediately shutting her mouth, still remembering her big sis's words. I had to find another way to make her disclose it. Uh, she's a real culprit, right? Huh? She tilted her head in confusion, not knowing what I was talking about. Damn, I need to somehow cover it up. What I mean is that I don't know. Realizing my intention, she replied calmly, but with a determined face. Okay. Let me see. Um, chat, observe. Let's go and chat again, I guess. We'll do this one. Right, I almost forgot to thank you. Why are you thanking me? When I was sick a few days ago, weren't you the one that asked her to buy me some medicine? Oh, really? Really? That sort of makes sense actually. No, Big Sis would have helped you anyway. Really? I don't think so. She awkwardly avoided my gaze, as though admitting that helping me was something to be embarrassed about. I understood her conflicted mind. To her, my gratitude might not be praise, but criticism. So what now? Let's see, let's observe. Do. Oh, what's this? This is new. We have origami stuff. Um, I tried to check out the girl's notebook, but she snatched it away from me. Wait, if this is updated, why is it not showing it's updated to me? Huh, weird. It showed it something the note was updated, but okay. Seems I can't read it without her permission. Oh, so you like cake? I borrowed a dessert magazine from her. I could tell her preference from all the markings in it. Yes, she nodded eagerly. Her serious reaction was rather amusing. I like fluffy cake. Chocolate is best, but strawberry is fine too. Though the ones you picked aren't really cheap. Every one of them costs at least 100 Taiwan dollars. The stores she marked all looked pretty fancy. There were even a few famous ones that accepted only reservations. Even I admired these rich ladies' powers of consumption. They were eating a slice of cake or some gold foil or maybe pearl powder. From millions in debt to luxurious afternoon tea, that sort of distance was one you couldn't close up in a lifetime. Even if just once, I want to try them with Big Sis. Her quiet words broke my train of thought. She stood still and hung her head sadly. Moved by sadness in her voice, I almost forgot my own conundrum. Some people live the luxurious life, yet can't find fulfillment or purpose, while others only wish to be able to have an afternoon tea with their family just once. The same society but different lives. Some people's dreams are merely trivial daily occurrences for others. I raised my head. The girl was already back to folding paper. Okay, so now it's updated. Okay. Um, Weird. I don't know why I got that message before this all happened. Okay. It was the fifth day of my kidnapping life. I started to get really tired of the unchanged room. Whether it was the afternoon sunlight, the reflection in the window, or the air mixed with the cigarette and mold smell, I didn't have an enlightening experience. Just wanted to get out of this goddamn place. What's that? Noticing the bag in her hand, I asked out of curiosity. Colored paper. She took out piles of colored paper. The rainbow color really stood out in the depressingly gray room. After a few slick movements, she had nimbly made a small paper crane out of it. She moved on to the next paper upon completion. Another one was completed less than a minute. A paper crane. Yes, they buy finished paper cranes from us. Oh, domestic OEM? I heard factories will outsource sewing and packaging to housewives and paid for quantity upon completion. Despite the low pay, many people took on such jobs for the convenience and flexible hours. I wanted to help and make some money so we could pay up the debt sooner. She was still working while talking. It wasn't long before there was a small pile. It didn't appear to be her first time. She must have been doing this for a while. How's the payment? How much each? 800 Taiwan dollars for 1,000. More if urgent. 800 per 1,000 cranes. That's less than $1 each. Even if it only took only a minute to make one, it would still take 15 hours. That's less than 100 per hour per hourly salary, less than I expected. That's not much. Isn't this manual labor? Oh no, they say people don't buy paper crane anymore. I guess we all prefer new things. If you were $1 million in debt, even a century would not be enough, let alone the interest. There is no foreseeable hope. No wonder they rather took the risk and kidnapped me. A horse cannot gain weight if not fed with extra fodder during the night. A man cannot become wealthy without earnings apart from his regular pay. Illegal methods really the only option to make money in a short time without capital. We tried jobs with better pay, like restaurants. Exist told me to stay away from those. She interrupted me resentfully, clearly not happy about it. Confused by her reaction, I tried to explain myself. Then I noticed how she was suppressing her emotion by biting the lips. Restaurants, jobs with better pay. It only took me seconds before I realized what she didn't say. I averted my gaze apologetically. Sorry, I didn't mean to. She quietly lowered her gaze, but her expression did lighten up a little. How much do you owe? I know that no matter how many I make, it would still not be enough. Guessing what I had in mind, she quietly resumed working. But this is the only way I could help Big Sis. She knew this little money was inconsequential. She knew what she was doing was illegal. Yet she could only do what she could, even if it was as pointless as filling the ocean with rocks. Do you know the story of the paper crane? I remember the bedtime story while looking at the paper crane in her hand. If you fold 1,000 paper crane, you can make a wish. So, you do know. Big Sis told me that. But it was all a lie. If all it takes is 1,000 cranes, everyone wouldn't need to work so hard. What an unimaginative way to put it, but I guess they didn't have time for a romantic fantasy. How ironic that the dream fulfilling paper cranes were made by people without them. I observed her side face with unease. She didn't appear to have much emotion, just as quiet as a pawn in fall. The siblings that had such a drastic different personalities in contrast to her big sister's anger, she just accepted it without the second word. She cared about her big sis' happiness in her current life more than fairness. I didn't know how to respond, so I changed the subject. If you can have a wish, what would it be? Would not come true anyway. That's what I said. That's why I said if. She, sh- um, she seemed to take my random question seriously and started to contemplate seriously. I want to help the family pay the debt. I hope no one will come out for us. I wish Big Sis can find a happier and better job. Oh, getting a little greedy here. You asked me to. Oh, right. I forgot. The note that was updated. She became talkative when the subject turned to dessert. Clearly, still a young girl. Oh, oh, looks like we have a few things that are being crossed out. We still have no clue who Mr. Kin is. Who Mr. Kin is. God won't listen to you if you ask for too many things, you know. She got interrupted by me and started to smile sadly. A smile more heartbreaking than crying. Well, they won't come true anyway. I tried to comfort her, but couldn't find the words. I resented myself for even bringing this up in the first place. Looking out the window, it was dusk already, and the sun was almost gone. I wasn't sure if they had any luck with the ransom. Looks like it's nighttime. Day 5 at night. There was quite an assortment of bread. I had the bread she brought back for dinner. I picked the richer looking pork floss combo, and it tasted better than I expected. I used to only buy it from the bakery that made fresh and organic bread. The price almost doubled, but the taste wasn't really that different. The economic equality used to be just some fancy catchphrase, and I never truly understood the meaning of that till now. It is unfairness in the extreme. Even if giving the same amount of effort, they would never have the same life as me. Not because of my talent, but simply because I was born to a rich family. Some people choose a work study and were already hundreds of thousands in debt upon graduation, while others never needed to worry about food or clothes and already had $1,000,000 in business capital from their parents. Eventually, these people would compete fairly in the same society. It's ridiculous, really, yet there's nothing we can do about it. We are powerless to the system. The world isn't fair. Thus, why she was this helpless. It was getting dark, and there were no news of her big sis. I didn't know if she got the money. I started to worry. Well, I didn't really think they would pay, but I also hoped this fiasco would end up on a peaceful note. They couldn't get the money. All these thoughts intertwined in my mind. The little, the little just ate the various breads quietly, not noticing my thoughts. You like sweets? She moved on to egg tart after finishing the donut, neither of them fitting for a proper meal. Mm. She quietly put her hand away like a child that got caught of doing naughty things. I like sweets too. Really? She looked at me with wide eyes, beaming curiosity. The innocence in her expression made one question her age. She looked like a middle schooler, yet her timid personality and over-reliance on her sister seemed to be more like an elementary school kid. Yeah, I like cookies, cakes, and ice cream. Chocolate? Chocolate is nice, but I prefer those with higher percent of cocoa. Otherwise, it's too sweet for me. Hmm. Not really understanding it, she just nodded. She paused the work and grabbed the magazine from the book pile and flipped through pages before putting it before me. It was a professional magazine on on desserts. There were photos of famous bakery and detailed analysis on each of them. I could see her notes on some pages, including a white chocolate cake that got specially circled. The pure white cake was decorated with berries and covered in cocoa powder. The elaborate garnish made it more like an artwork than pastry. Have you ever tried this? Nope, I seldom try out a particular store. I only visited a few I know about. Sometimes people would give us some as gifts, but I rarely had a taste of those since I didn't visit home frequently. Speaking of which, white chocolate is actually not chocolate. Why is that? It is white because there is no cocoa powder. Do you know it is made of cocoa butter and milk solid? Oh, she tilted her head and blinked a few times out of confusion. So what's the difference? Different ingredients. I heard white chocolate is not as healthy, but it tastes good. Um, Can't argue with that. The difference between us was never clear. Comparing to my health concern, she cared more about the taste. I flipped through the magazine with one hand. There were more pages with notes. I recalled myself doing the same thing on travel guidebook before a trip. Every stroke of the pen was filled with anticipation. You really want to try them, huh? She lowered her head, and I heard her response in a tiny voice. Big Sis said she would bring me there. I was getting a little tired of her constant mentioning of Big Sis. However, she only had her Big Sis to rely on. She couldn't go to school and had to become independent way before others. It just wasn't fair to call her ignorant. Nah, I sighed. My heart always felt heavy when talking to her. Sometimes I rather she was as angry as her sister. At least I wouldn't feel as guilty that way. The magazine was a manifestation of her dream. Dessert, cake, and chocolate. From my perspective, these dreams would never come true. Even if she got the money, I don't think she would be able to bring you on a foodie tour. She looked at me with an expression on the verge of tears. Seeing her depressed expression, I swallowed the words I was about to say and regret the fact I might have gone too far. I wanted to let her see the reality, but didn't want to hurt her either. With that said, there could be chance for that in the future. Really? Yep. I repeated myself to give her confidence, the shaky light in the dark lighting up her young face, which was filled with unease and sadness. She knew what her sister was doing. That very realization was what shaped her suffering. She didn't have a choice. Could she stop her sister and convince her to focus on a proper job instead of kidnapping? There was obviously no way. Even an adult would not be able to give an answer, let alone a kid like her. She was not to blame here. The ones responsible were her parents, her guardian, or even her big sis. My thoughts were interrupted by the sound. She was back. Immediately, there were countless thoughts in my mind, and I realized I had no time to hesitate. The footsteps were getting closer, and my heartbeat faster. I clenched, and then let go of my hands in the pocket. The palms were drenched in sweat. Maybe, just maybe, if she did get the ransom, they would be all over when she got here. No one would get hurt. They could restart their life. A happy ending like all fairy tales. No matter how unlikely it was, I wanted to believe that a slight chance was my last chance of escape as the wager. I seldom gamble on anything, and this would be the only time I truly hoped to win. Escape, give up. Give up. Why not? The girl entered the room with an icy expression. Uh-oh, she had none of her usual cool anymore. Her messy hair spread across her shoulders, and I could see nothing but rage and despair in her eyes. I knew the answer without asking. Big sis. Step aside. The little girl tried nervously to get closer, but only got shoved aside by her big sis, who walked towards me with big steps. Oh, is she gonna kill me? Out of nowhere, a kick landed on my stomach and made me curl up in pain. Before I could react, a myriad of punches landed on me. Big sis! Shut up and step aside. The little girl tried to pull her away, but got scared, motionless by her sisters yelling. All of you are the same, all of you! She yelled at me hysterically, as though trying to vent all her rage upon me. I managed to cover my head with my hands, trying to shield my crucial parts. There was a taste of blood in my mouth. My body spasmed uncontrollably, and even coughing up gastric juice didn't alleviate the sense of nausea. Every single time. I think she's about to kill me. Oh no. Every time. Every fucking time. I just want a normal life. Why do you have to force me? What do you want from me? The yelling and the crying, the initial burning pain seemed to gradually disappear. All the noise mixed into the one everlasting sound in my ear, as though from somewhere far, far away. I naively thought it would work out. I gave up the chance like a coward, believing they would pay. I knew it would from the very beginning. I gave up the chance of escape to embrace an unrealistic hope. Here I was. What's this? S113/2? Big sis, why? You said it would be alright. As though hearing her sister for the first time, the girl dropped her fists and faced the crying little girl. Her clenched fists were still trembling. Her standing posture appeared extremely lonely. Don't cry. I could hear her choking up, and there were tears in her eyes, but she stubbornly refused and let them drop. I won't cry either. She bit her lips and said every word forcefully. I would not cry no matter what. I already knew it would be like this. I knew no one would believe me no matter what I did. From their perspective, we should all go to hell. We're just some social problem. We should all just die. Just because we're poor and can't go to school. Why don't they just lock up everyone who has less than 20,000 in income? Everyone who doesn't have a middle school diploma should just get executed. This is some morbid thoughts. What do they call us? Backup criminals? Social time bombs? Big sis, listen to me. No one will believe us and no one will help us. All we have is ourselves. Got it? It was a declaration and accusation, both. A yell straight from her soul's deepest place. She unclenched her fist. There were spots of blood on her gloves, and she just laughed, ignoring that. I know this goddamn world isn't fair. Hearing the familiar words, I finally understood the emotions behind them. It was neither helplessness nor acceptance, but rage and struggling against reality. Is that end? Did I just die or something? Or oh, we have another day. Oh, cool, cool. Day 6, answer. Well, I think you know what? I think I might actually just end it now. It's actually incredibly shorter than I thought it'd be.